It's time to get this money, yeah, I know. Yeah, I got it.
Hi, this is Ashley the Muslima. Welcome to my channel. And I'm here with hubby today for a segment we call Pillow Talk. And no, it's PG-13. We ain't doing none of that nastiness. Go ahead, babe. Introduce yourself.
It's your boy KZ, K to the I.
Zeus. The conversation for the day is going to be parenting and the disagreements that come with parenting for, households where both parents are there. So I'm going to sit there and have a few topics, a few questions. We're going to break down and have the conversation. If you guys have anything you'd like to say, you can add it in the comments. And we'll respond in a future video because this segment will be done every week. Pillow Talk is here to comparing boys to men. Now, this could go vice versa if you're a parent to girls, where it would be comparing girls to women. Now,
That's a tricky thing because, you got girls, you got women and stuff. One of the things that I spoke about the other day was clothes. You can sit there and dress your daughter in an outfit, and it could be acceptable, but based on their body type, it wouldn't be acceptable.
no, I completely get that. I get that. It also follows behind the same thing of like not to throw no shade
of not to throw no
but
shade.
we all know as of I think last year it was Fashion Nova decided to come out with kids clothes, and they also did a line for men as well. But when it comes to boys clothes, I don't like anything where it shows gang affiliation, violence.
I agree, but my disagreement, which is why I said debate, is because think about it. You say guns and stuff like that, but yet if you see a shirt with Iron Man and he got his whole arm is a goddamn
A cannon or some sort.
Exactly.
I get that.
But wait, it defeats the purpose. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
A character.
Make pretend.
Make pretend. But however, Wolverine, he got blades that comes out of his fist. When it comes to clothes, they put violence all over the place. It's everywhere. To go back to what I was saying based on, girls being girls, boys being boys, the difference.
So that's a different topic if you think about it.
For example, you're a parent. You may not be a parent of daughters, of girls, but yet, if you decide you want to go to the club and you got on a leopard outfit, you personally, you're not gonna think to put that same outfit on your daughter.
That's where I was going with the whole Fashion Nova thing, because Fashion Nova came out with a clothing line for children. For the girls' perspective now, the girls are the clothes are a little too tight, a little too revealing. It's clothes that's made for adults, but they shrunk it down for toddlers and children.
Like I said, before, I had the conversation earlier, and it made sense to me and whatever and stuff. It's not about the outfit. It's about your body type.
I don't think so, because imagine a child who, we've had this conversation before, say you going to the beach and it's your family, and say you have a son and you have a daughter. Your son, of course, he's going to wear swimming trunks, maybe a t-shirt or a white beater. Now for the girls, you as a parent have the choice. Are you going to put your daughter in a one-piece? Are you going to put your daughter in a two-piece? Or a full swimming piece?
But either way, long story short or whatever, just to jump to it or whatever and stuff, would I sit there and have my daughter in a two-piece bikini or one?
Now, some parents might say, hey, it's hot out, my child already doesn't like clothes.
I'm not judging. I just wouldn't do it personally.
Okay, well, you already know how I
even
stand
with the
on
little
it.
Short skirts with the little, even though it got the little, for the little babies and stuff, it got the little
It's like the little tutu piece that
and they
goes
got the
over
piece that
it.
covers the diaper. And
Yeah.
No, not in my book.
Well, I'm sorry. It's no judgment. I don't want to offend anyone. But to me, in my mind, if a child's, and even though I know they're swimming diapers, but still, if your child is in a diaper, they shouldn't be wearing a bathing suit, planning on getting no water. I'm sorry.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. The whole thing based on raising boys.
Okay.
You feel me? The term man up, right?
Yes.
Me being a black man that was raised, that grew up, that lived in these streets, we are treated differently. So like when it comes to the terms of man up, like there's more important things to cry over. There's more important things to, be emotional about. Did you see the story based on the young 8-year-old boy that was detained by police? I'm not sure where it was at. From stealing a bag of Dorito chips. And the cop sat there and put cuffs on and put him in the back of the cop car. And you got another dude that's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, yo, it's a child. Like, yo, I will pay for the chips. What the cop said?
He stole a bag of Doritos. It's against the law.
Bro, it's a bag of chips. This is an 8-year-old. We have an 8-year-old. We have an 8-year-old son that we had to sit there and drill into his head. Like, you can't be going to the store stealing. Why? Because they have this whole thing to where they want to make examples out of us. So when I say man up, it's not, no, it is. It's not, but it is. It's not me saying like, yo, grow up fast. No, because I want to enjoy my time with my children being children. I want to enjoy that. But that's not the world that we live in.
I understand what you're saying. It's not the world that we live in per se, but when you sit there and you decide, okay, I'm going to get married and have children, you create an idea of what you want out of life in your head, correct?
Okay.
Now, when you move in with your spouse, y'all have children, y'all all live in a home, in a house, an apartment, whatever it is, y'all secluded bubble. At the end of the day, you choose what you want to teach your children within this bubble. You allow them to learn whatever you want them to learn. You control what happens within your household.
In your household.
That's why I said bubble.
Okay.
You control what happens in your household. So now, whatever happens outside of the world, you can't control. But as long as your child is in their home, they should be comfortable and they should be able to be children worry-free. So now, with you worrying so much about what's going on in the outside world and not really paying attention to 100% what's going on in your bubble, you're forcing these children to pay attention to something that's way beyond their comprehension at this point. Because we're talking about an 8-year-old, not an 18-year-old, not a 12-year-old.
But you clearly didn't hear what I said.
There's a video that's going viral of an 8-year-old being detained by police from stealing a bag of Dorito chips.
We in our bubble. We in our zone, our household. And our children is living life like, boom, everything is everything. Everything is great. And then they go outside. And so they could be with us, or they could be with their aunts, their uncles, whoever. And they go into the store, and they just grab a bag of chips and pop it open and just start eating it or whatever. And then you got the store owner that wants to be
A penis.
Excuse his French.
I thought that was clean.
Technically it is, but to me it's still a dirty word.
I'm gonna talk to y'all. So, you got the store owner that's being,
A ding dong. Right? So,
they're not aware of this word because of the word that we're giving them at home.
Yeah.
No, they need to know that. They need to know what goes on outside. Do you recall? He asked me, per se, one day, Daddy, how do we know which cops are good cops?
I had the same conversation with him.
And, all right, cool. What did you say?
Well, what I said to him is, it may be hard for you to understand now, but this does not go just for cops. This is for people, even family, friends, people that you will meet in general. You have
talking
to.
about cops, so you're not talking about the police.
I'm speaking
talking
about the
about
police
people in
as
general.
well.
You talking
Even
about
the
people
police
but-
are people,
Alright,
bro.
but he asked me, per se, how am I supposed to know the good cops between the bad cops?
I don't give a hoo-ha.
This is how I explained it to him. You said, what did I say?
You took it too far, I feel.
I sat there and said to him, basically, in order to pick out the good people from the bad people is you got to try to pay attention and pick up on negative clues that would let you know. Otherwise than that, there's really no way of knowing. You got to pay attention to the way the person looks at you, the way they interact.
You don't want. What am I saying? All right, so.
When he asked me, Daddy, how am I supposed to know the difference between a good cop and a bad cop? Me, I told him, honestly, son, there's no way to tell. There's no way that you could tell until you're in the presence of a good cop and a bad cop. Quick story, right? Remember the time when I got arrested, right? When I got arrested or whatever, I was walking past the precinct in Coney Island. And whatever, long story short, whatever, the cops sat there, they seen something on me that wasn't supposed to be on me or whatever. They sat there, they stopped me. I didn't resist nothing or whatever. They asked me, I threw my hands up like, oh, okay. And however, the cops, they sat there, it was a white cop. He sat there and was like, all right, cool, like, let's go. Walked me to the precinct and said that no cuffs. He ain't put no cuffs on me. But once we got in front of the precinct, he was like, yo, I gotta put cuffs on you because I can't walk you into the precinct without cuffs. And I'm like, all right, cool. Put my arms behind my back. He put the cuffs on. And then we walked inside. However, yo, I even asked homie if he had a bogey. Because I'm like, yo, damn, it's about to be a long night. And he was like, yo, I would give you one, but I quit smoking like 3-4 months ago. I'm like, well, goddamn. However, either way, my point is that in my eyesight, I don't know what he does on other levels, but that seemed like a good cop.
He was just like, damn, look at this idiot. Walking around with this on him.
Another situation, a cop sat there and grabbed my whole...
My whole Johnson. I don't know why people call it Johnson. But however.
This was back in the day when PSPs was popping. And he like, what is this? What is this? Because it was my PSP. He grabbed that, he took that out. Then he grabbing other stuff like,
What is this? That's Johnson. That's my Johnson. He like, oh, okay. All right.
That was a douchebag cop. The reason why I say it's because there was no reason for him to stop me. There was nothing showing. I wasn't carrying nothing. However, either way, me as a black man that grew up in Brooklyn, in the streets, as a black man, I feel I need to teach my son how to be prepared for the nonsense that goes on in this world. So once again, to go back, when I sit there and I tell my son, man up, because you just did something, because you thought you was big and bad, accept those consequences. Man up. Don't sit there and cry about it. Don't sit there and be sad about it.
Not to cry about it, not to be angry about it. That's in a way teaching them not to know how to process their emotions.
That's not true. That's
Because
not
you're
true.
telling them not to
That's
feel
not
it at
true.
all.
That's not true, because if we had a pet hamster, which we would never have, but if we did, and your pet hamster died, and you sitting there boo-hooing in the corner because your pet hamster just died, I'm not gonna come to. I'm not
gonna be like, boy, shut up and man up. People die, things die.
I'm not gonna do that. That's no. I'ma sit
Like,
there.
yo, son, like, you want us to get you another hamster?
He said, no, like, Rocky was the only one. I don't know, I'm making up
Like,
things.
I'm not gonna be like, nah, man up. No. But if you sit there,
And let's say, hypothetically speaking, if you smack the out of your brother, and then you get smacked, nah, man up, bro. Man up. You crying for it. You smacked him, I smacked you. Man up, nah, no, take that L. How you supposed to take it? Not that we're saying hitting children is okay or anything like that. Yeah, that's not okay. That's not cool. Alright. Discipline is discipline. Abuse, you should go to jail.
anywho,
Not to sit there and be on that topic. I think we touched that topic long enough.
We can move it on along. Anyways, soft versus hard parenting. Soft versus hard parenting. Soft versus hard. Yeah, soft versus hard parenting. Okay.
Which do you feel is more effective? Let's start with that one.
hard.
You think hard.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel that a child would do better or strive with just hard parenting? Or does a child need more so of a balance?
I feel everyone needs a balance and stuff, but it goes. See, all right. So what are you asking? Are you asking like, is it like should? Excuse me. Like, if you're a single parent, like should you be hard and soft, or just hard or soft?
Well, I can't really speak for a single parent because I don't know what that's like. So I'm gonna use us.
Reference? You soft, I'm hard. So therefore, I do what I gotta do. You do what you gotta do. So they will get that emotional stuff from you. They get that hard stuff.
Okay, so if that's what you're saying now,
If
why complain when I'm being soft?
Because if I'm not here, whatever, they gonna
But
run
you
over.
are.
But if I'm not here, we'll handle that when that comes. You're
God
not going to
forbid.
be able to handle that when I'm
You
not.
don't know that.
I do, because you're raising two boys. Imagine if you was raising two
My
boys.
sons love me.
Yes, they do. I love my mama.
And because you loved her so much,
I
look
cursed her
at
out
once.
3 times.
Okay.
Over the phone.
He's smart.
Over
the phone.
My mama was there.
And you apologize for it. After every single time. My point is.
My mama was gangster.
Oh my gosh.
Why would I curse her out and not apologize?
Oh my
That would
God.
make me stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I love my mama.
Oh my gosh.
See you when I see you. Like, that's a whole different vibe.
Oh my gosh.
As you were saying.
Okay. Which follows behind another one of the questions / kind of topic thingies. Do you feel the way that you were raised affects the way that you raise your children?
I don't feel it affects anything.
I think it does.
Okay, explain.
The reason why I feel it does have a great deal to
Well,
do
you speaking about me or in general?
in general.
Okay, so you feel the way how you were
Raised affects how you raise your children.
Okay, yeah, I'm listening.
Because, like, for example, you know how they say one?
All right, I'm sorry. When you asked that question, I took that as you are asking me directly.
But even with you, of course,
Like, yes,
it affects it.
I don't feel that it affects the way how I raise our children. I don't feel that way, but for other people, it depends.
I feel it does, but I can only speak for me.
I feel the way I was raised gave me the.
If you weren't punished the way you were punished as a child,
I don't punish.
would
my
you
children.
believe?
I don't punish our children the same way I was punished. There's certain similarities. There's certain things that does happen, but I like from 100%. I do not discipline or punish our children the way how I was punished.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that I was punished on some brutal shit stuff. So
We're gonna get a lot of this.
go ahead.
Uh-huh. I'm like, for me, I know what it was like to be raised in a over strict household.
Your
And
situation is different.
because we'll get into that into another video. We can explain certain other issues in another video, but right now, the way I was raised, I wasn't, just for a little background, I wasn't allowed to go out with friends, play outside. I wasn't able to go to the movies or go to the mall with friends. I wasn't allowed to do any of that stuff.
Hold on. Every now and then you're gonna see me look down at this iPad because my notes and ignore him. He's cranky.
That's not the
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is our 5-year-old is, as you would say, on the spectrum. He is autistic. And raising that autistic child, we've learned, is very different.
both equally. I love them both the same way. Like if we fix dinner and you get 3 pieces of chicken, no, you don't get a 4th piece of chicken just because you're on the spectrum. No, no. The hell?
I've realized that my youngest son doesn't communicate the way regular children do. And he doesn't, he's technically labeled as nonverbal. But he talks when he wants to talk.
He's nonverbal but talks a lot.
It's like he created his own language and then every now and then wants to spit out a few words of our language.
Because we the slow ones. And alright, no, that came out awkward.
To him, we are the slow
no,
ones.
but that's what I mean. But no, because it would make it seem like I'm saying he's slow.
He's not slow. He's actually very
he's
smart.
Smart as heck.
Alright, that boom, I'm sorry. We got a robot. This kid don't put the audio thing on, like, to tell you, like, oh, CBS or
Yeah,
CW,
so it
the
basically
audio thing.
reads out every single move that you make on the
It
TV.
took me like 10 minutes just to find it, to take it off.
And he comes in here and does it in 2 seconds. And he does it.
Every single time he comes in here, he maneuvers through that remote control, goes on YouTube, CBS, PBS, Disney. He does it all by himself. He does things with that remote that his 8-year-old brother cannot do. Things that I and his father don't even know exist, he's doing. And by the way, what you hear and see on the internet about your second child is usually the daredevil or the one that has no cares whatsoever. It's
true.
completely true.
It's true.
It is true 100%.
To make sure that your second child is on the spectrum or not. Check that out.
Don't
Because
listen to him. There's plenty of people
we
with
have
a bunch
2 children. We have 2. We have 2, do we not?
Yes, we have to.
And it's our second child, right?
Uh-huh.
That's Daredevil, right?
Uh-huh.
That's on the spectrum, right?
Uh-huh. But he's only
I
a
respect-
He's only a daredevil because he's on a spectrum. Because if he wasn't on a spectrum, he would be more like other
So
children.
therefore, if your child is a daredevil and it's your second, check to see if your child is on the spectrum. If they're not, then
No, some people's second children just jerks. They smart, they're normal, and they just jerks. We gonna edit that one.
no, we ain't adding that. She said
I'm
that.
sorry. Okay, yes, I said it. Some children are jerks. Some children are plain old mean,
See,
don't
since I can't
listen,
curse.
are bad, and just...
I'm not listening, babe, you getting real touchy on this. Because I can't curse. Some children they're really buttholes. They're really buttholes. That's acceptable.
I've met some mean children in my life.
Some mean buttholes.
Yeah. I'm just happy that my children aren't mean
Nah,
buttholes.
I met one nasty butthole.
Everyone that's actually met our children actually say our children are well-mannered.
They don't know.
I'm even talking about family.
They don't know. They know of them. They know them.
I'm
when they
talking about
come.
family that actually have watched them and spent time with them.
You're really trying to. Next.
I don't want to.
kids is crazy.
You guys saw that, right? I hope y'all saw that. Because
Next.
so the next question is, do you think that your parents made mistakes raising you? And if yes, do you think those mistakes contribute to the mistakes that you will make with your children?
Yes, I feel like they made mistakes. My parents made mistakes. And, well, you know, now that I think about it or whatever, when you say contribute to the way how I raise my children, yes, it will contribute based on whether it's the mistakes that they made or the right things that they made. It gives me, you know, how would I say that?
It kind of gives you an unwritten manuscript of what you don't want to do with your children. And what
Okay,
you do want to do with your children.
I'll accept that. So yes. So yeah.
Okay. I could vibe with that.
Okay.
Definitely much
And
so.
you?
Yeah, kind of the same. It kind of gives me an unwritten manuscript of things I want to do with my children and things I don't want to do with my children. But because my upbringing was kind of on the rough side, I think that's probably why I'm a little bit softer to when it comes to the kids. The way I grew up and the parenting that my mom did per se made me want to hear my children out more. If I could change anything about my childhood based on the way my mom, you know, whatever mistakes she made with me, if it was one thing, like I said, which is I think the number one rule of how I raise my kids, that she heard me out more. Because my mother was a very stern person where if she sees something or believes something to be the way it is, she's not going to hear otherwise or different. She'd rather call you a liar than actually take your word for what you're saying. Well, that was that. This is Pillow Talk. We're going to be doing this. We're going to try, inshallah, to do this every week. Pillow Talk.
Thanks for sticking it out to the end of the video. You made it. We here. Please hit like, follow, subscribe, share. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll see you later.
It's time to get this money, yeah, I know. Yeah, I got it.